Hey folks, it's me, Christiana Gaudet. I am here. It's Monday, so I'm here Monday as I am every Monday with your 3-card weekly reading. This will be a reading for the week starting today and ending Sunday. So that is January 13th through Sunday, January 19th. Just to share with you a few interesting things we have coming up this week. For those of you who are in our local area, in the Palm City area, Wednesday evening, 7 to 9, I'm doing a tarot class here, creating and using tarot spreads. And Sunday afternoon, the 19th, from 3 to 5, Mary Ellen Collins will be here with a class on basic astrology and birth charts. You can find tickets on Eventbrite. You can find links to that on Facebook and also, hey Don, nice to see you, on Facebook and also on my website, christianagaudet.com. So do feel free to sign up for these classes. Also, on Sunday the 19th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be giving a free webinar on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Christiana Gaudet. You may be there right now watching this in archives, so you can look for the link or just get to my channel 10:30 Eastern Time, Sunday. What we're doing is the 4 elements and the major arcana. Wherever you are in your tarot journey, you will find this workshop very helpful, so I hope to see you there. So, thanks so much for being here with me today. I'm glad you're here. And this is something we do every week, every Monday. If you're watching an archive, I appreciate that as well. I'm glad you're here. So, a 3-card reading to discuss the energies that are available to us over the week. Yes, it feels broad, but many times you will find that these cards are actually very helpful and very pertinent to what you're going through. Hey, Alice, nice to see you here. So if this feels pertinent, if it resonates for you, please do take it as a reading. Of course, if you would like something more personal and specific, you can always reach out to me. I am available to read for you by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, WhatsApp, or here in my Palm City office. I do not have a Palm Beach office, but I am 30 miles north of Palm Beach. So wherever you are in the area, I'd love to work with you or at a distance. Hey, Cindy, glad that you're here. TK, glad to see you. Dawn says, I'm learning the tarot. I missed that. Hang on, let me see that. Okay, Dawn says, I'm learning the tarot cards have not gotten very far. You have not got very far. You bought the weight deck. Very good. Keep working at it. We all have to start somewhere. And even from the beginning of your tarot journey, the cards can be very helpful. So do play with that and have fun with that. That's great. And try to come to my webinar on Sunday. It will help you. Hey, Naomi, nice to see you. I am not doing individual readings. This is our 3-card weekly reading. I'll be reading 3 cards for everyone. And before I get going with that, hey, Wendy, nice to see you. Deirdre, glad you're here. Before I get going with that, I actually have a little bit of a teachable moment on this. We had our monthly tarot meetup at Panera in Palm City yesterday. We had a lot of people there. I was so happy to see old friends make new friends. It was a great time. And we were doing an exercise that involved looking at 3 cards and coming up with a theme for the 3 cards. And what I heard from a lot of people is, well, that's going to depend on the order of the cards. And it's very true that often in a reading, to give context to the cards, we will read them in a sentence or past, present, future in a progression. And that is a very good and helpful, solid technique for working with tarot. But it is also true that we have to be able to take a group of cards and together come up with a cohesive message without necessarily doing past, present, future, or reading it like a sentence. And so when we do this 3-card weekly reading, this is an exercise in that second technique, in finding a theme where we are not using positional meanings or time associations with these cards. They do come up in a particular area, in a particular order, but we put them together any way we see fit. And so please do take this as a specific tarot reading technique that we all need to be able to add to the wheelhouse. Okay, Wendy said, would you believe my dog chewed a hole in the bottom of my new Dex box? Thankfully, the cards are fine. Time to get a tarot pouch. Hi, Jan. Nice to see you. Nilsson, nice to see you. So today I'm working with the old workhorse, the Morgan Greer. Cindy says, important to allow your heart to also read the cards. What does that mean? Important to allow your heart to read the cards. Are you saying that intuition is an important part of the card reading process? Certainly. TK is going back to our exercise yesterday. I am a Capricorn. I am the devil. I move the world, judgment reserved. That's hilarious. If you were there yesterday, you would get that. Raven, nice to see you. What do you agree with? Would love to hear. Okay. So, here is the 3-card reading for the week. Let's see what we've got. I'm all stuck on what Cindy said. I'd love to hear more from you. The idea of reading the cards with your heart. I don't love that. Raven, that intuition helps read the cards. Yes, absolutely, 100%. And I think that's what you're meaning, Cindy. But my concern, because often when we talk about your heart, we're talking about emotion. And I think when we bring emotion to a tarot reading, we cloud it completely. So knowing the difference between the intuitive heart and the emotional heart. Cindy says absolutely. So that's where we're going there, that intuition is a huge part of tarot reading. That is absolutely true. And that's one of the reasons why a person who has no knowledge of tarot, no study of tarot, no understanding of classic tarot meaning can still give a good reading with the cards because of intuition. Absolutely. So does intuition come through the heart chakra? That's an interesting thing. That's sort of a side conversation going on here. I would love to have a whole conversation of that because I'd say no. I'd say absolutely not. We talk about intuition as, sometimes we call it a gut instinct where you might feel it in the solar plexus. I think there are people who probably do feel intuition in their heart. In fact, I do an exercise in psychic development classes. I do an exercise where we feel where you feel the truth. Do you feel it in the throat? Do you feel it in the heart? Do you feel it in the gut? Now, technically, I would say intuition comes through the brow. And so we work to develop the brow to get that truth there. But I think it's very possible, if Raven and Cindy say, well, I feel my intuition in the heart, I'll buy that. But I would not say that that is standard. Raven, is that how an empath reads the cards? So being an empath is a whole different thing. Because to be an empath, Cindy says, I believe intuition has dimensions. Absolutely. But one of the problems is that people will confuse their emotions and their anxieties for their intuition. And I think we have to be really careful about that. So to be an empath is an interesting thing because an empath doesn't necessarily read people. An empath feels what other people are feeling. And so that's an interesting thing. And when we talk about empaths reading tarot, and I think that does happen quite a bit, that people who are empaths will be drawn to this kind of thing. However, I would say, Cindy says, I'm like Spock. That is the best way to be. Yes, 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 yes. When it comes to reading, you really want to be like Spock. You want to be analytical in that way. Absolutely. How does an empath read tarot? Anyone here who is an empath, who identifies as an empath and also reads tarot? I would love to hear how that works for you. That's an interesting thing, man. That there's a whole blog post in that. Okay, so you tell me, Raven, how do you work with the cards? Cindy, okay. Right, and the two people who are like, yeah, I read tarot with my heart. So yeah, obviously, you guys know what you're talking about there. I'd love to hear it. If you can share a little bit about your process, I would love to hear that. That's a very interesting thing. Alice as well. So yeah, I think this is a common thing, and it probably, tarot reading for empaths is probably a very specific thing and technique, and probably something we need to talk more about. All right, now, good conversation. Thank you, guys. When I read them, it's how the cards make me feel during a reading. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think there's a nugget of wisdom there. Raven says, I channel as well. Yes, absolutely. I think there's a nugget of wisdom there for everyone because we should all pay attention to how the cards make us feel. Cindy says, my heart, let me get back to this. Hang on. My heart allows my mind to open to receive the message. Okay, so you're making a connection then between the heart chakra and the brow chakra, and probably also the crown. Excuse me. And with Raven, when she says she's channeling during a reading, she's bringing in the crown there too, which I think we kind of all do. That's sort of where that comes in. So good stuff. Very, very good. All right. Here we go. So, now I may mispronounce your name. Is it Rocio Marie? I use symbols, astrology, and elements. Yep, very important stuff. So, it's so interesting. Did this conversation inform this card or didn't it? But it is funny to note that our first card in our 3-card weekly reading is the moon reversed. Now, the moon in its upright position can speak very much to the process of intuition, the process of trying to figure out what is true. It comes up reversed, and I think for this 3-card weekly reading, the way I want to interpret it is this. Be careful to find your answers through logic as well as intuition. The moon can also be about treachery. It can also be about deceit. And you can see how those things can go along with intuition because you have to use intuition to find what is really true as you pick your way around the moonlit path. And it is also true, again, that people will confuse their emotions with intuition. They will say all the time, intuitively, I feel this, but really it's something else speaking. It's their desire or their fear that is speaking. So the moon reversed. This week, walk very carefully. Vet everything you think, everything you hear, everything you're told. Avoid deluding yourself and avoid believing other people's crap. Sorry, but there it is. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, the King of Wands. And Cindy says must be protected through prayer connection. Absolutely. I think doing energy work to protect yourself is really very important. Absolutely. Okay, now our second card is the King of Wands. So for me, I think this is about bringing the fire element in this week. The King, of course, is about leadership. Be a leader. Be a leader in your creativity. Be a leader in your spirituality. Be a leader in the things that you are passionate about. And by being a leader, you can dispel some of the crap that may be floating around here. Raven said, yep, you taught me how to shield myself. So happy you did. Yes. Oh, especially for an empath. So important. Hey, Sally, nice to see you. I have trouble separating emotion from intuition. A lot of people do. A lot of people do. Okay, so the next card, this is so interesting now, the Knight of Wands, or in this deck, the Knight of Rods. So what do we have here? We have one major arcana, two court cards. So that may mean that people are going to be very important this week. Your relationship with people, your communication with people, your collaboration with people. We have two fire cards, one water card. So that means that passion, emotion, creativity, spirituality, and action will be very important this week, especially with this Knight coming in. This is about really pursuing and going where we need to go. So basically, this week, you are to figure out what your path is. Figure out what your passions are. Pursue your path. Pursue your passions. Be clear in your own intuition and your own knowledge. Do not delude yourself and do not let anyone else delude you. There's your reading, and there was also a lesson in how to read three cards together. Okay. Alice says she sometimes forgets to shield herself. Karen says, I'm an empath and a tarot reader. The empathy part allows me to process the querent's emotions regarding the situation through the heart chakra, in addition to channeling through the third eye and crown chakra. Beautiful. That was such a good description. I love that. Thank you so very much for that. That was brilliant, brilliant. Raven says, wow, this hits home so much. Dawn says, thank you from the UK. Very good. Hey, I hope to see you guys at my webinar on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Christiana Gaudette. Please do subscribe. Join me 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday morning. Hope to see you there. If you happen to be local, again, 2 classes this week. Tarot with me Wednesday night, 7 to 9. Astrology with Mary Ellen, Sunday, 3 to 5. You can sign up on Eventbrite. Find the link on my website, christianagaudette.com, or on my Facebook business page. You guys, thank you for a great conversation. Thank you for being here. I'll be back next week with another 3-card weekly reading. I'll look forward to seeing you then. And if you would like a private reading with me by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, or in person here in my Palm City office, just reach out. I'll look forward to seeing you. Thanks so much. Deirdre says, thank you. Interesting. Last night I made a decision about the people in my life, and this hits home. So glad. I'll look forward to seeing y'all soon. Liz, thank you for being here as well. Have a great week, everyone. Billy says, hope to join you in Lutz. Yeah, thanks for the reminder on that. At the end of the month, January 24th through 27th, I will be in the Tampa Bay area. I can do house calls, house parties. You can come see me at my private location in Wesley Chapel. I will also be doing our Panera meetup, a free informal workshop at Panera in Lutz from 3 to 5 that Sunday. Hey, Carol, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you guys all real soon. Take care.